All right, Coach, man, I appreciate you. First thing I want to say is just thank you for letting me be on here. I know you reached out to me a few weeks ago. I was kind of busy, but I was kind of busy, didn't have all my film. So now that I got it, I'm just glad to be on here, man. Today we're going to talk about just a few things that I think are important as far as wide receiver releases and just some different route techniques guys can use during the route or at the top of the route to get open. A lot like we talked about earlier, a lot of this stuff is stuff people have heard before. I don't think I'm reinventing the wheel or anything like that. Just hoping maybe the way I teach it, or maybe words that I use, or maybe coaching points, kind of stick out to you and help guys. So, just to get into it, small introduction. Tony Washington, wide receivers coach at Coastal Carolina. This will be my first year at Coastal Carolina. Literally just got here January 27th. So got here in January, hit the road. 5 days later was coaching in spring ball. So it's been a wild ride, man. And a lot of these clips, I got during spring ball, some of the Coastal Carolina stuff. So a lot of it's not going to be perfect. I just want to have some updated film for guys from where I'm at, just showing different techniques and how even in 15 practices, guys are picking up techniques and it's easy to learn. As far as about me, from Appalachian State University is where I graduated, played 3+ years in the NFL, about 3.5, almost 4. Be my third year now coaching, got 2 years coaching experience. Just where I'm from High Point, North Carolina. Like I said, went to Appalachian State. This is my family, my wife, Tiffany, my son, TJ, Michael the third. I know that's very confusing, TJ, Michael the third, but that's just what everybody says. So my real name is Michael. Everybody calls me Tony, so that's where it comes from. Like I said, played it out, just a few things about me, awards and different things. Had an opportunity to play in the NFL, played for Jacksonville, played for the Colts, and played for the Patriots. So it was a good deal, man, and liked it. As far as coaching went, did my first coaching stint at East Carolina. One of the notable players we had was Trayvon Brown, 74 catches, 1,123 yards, Biletnikoff watch list. And then last year, of course, everybody kind of knows Tutu Atwell over at Louisville. Me and Coach Brewer, he did a lot of grunt work, a lot of big stuff, but he had 70 catches, 1,226 yards, Biletnikoff watch list, and was All-American. So just a few of the places I've been, a few of the guys I've coached. Not going to get in philosophy and stuff like that today. If guys want to ask about that or want to know about it, I can talk about it after this. But just kind of getting into it, we're going to start off with releases. And so basically how I kind of broke everything up and how I see it is in routes, there's 3 portions to every route. So what I tell the kids, I want to keep everything, coaching points as simple and efficient as possible. So when I'm talking, I like talking threes and I like to not use a lot of wordage. So when I'm coaching routes, usually I'm telling the kids there's 3 parts. There's the get off, which is the release. There's the get vertical, because pretty much every route's going to have some sort of vertical portion or portion of route where you're gaining ground. And then the last is get separation. So I teach in those 3 parts. So how can we get off? How can we get vertical? How can we get separation? And once we get separation, we got to catch the ball. So usually when I tell the guys, I joke around and say, I can coach you up on the 3 parts, but catching the ball, that's your job. And so guys, they kind of respond. It's an easy way to talk. A lot of times as coaches, we're out in the field, we see a play just happen and we see guys and all of a sudden the guy, drops a ball or doesn't get open or gets jammed at the line. You don't really see what happened. He come back to the sideline. You're watching the next play while talking to him. And so, you're asking the guy, hey, what was wrong? A lot of simple ways to talk to the guys, just say, hey, my get off was bad. I didn't get vertical. I didn't get separation. So now we're talking the same language in practice. I know what he did wrong. He knows what he did wrong. Then we go back to the film room. We can coach off that. And so that's kind of how I think about it. It's really simple, really easy. The kids like it. It's just efficient, man. I think that's the biggest thing, is to be efficient as possible. So that's the 3 phases, and just start talking about them. All right, so, so we're talking about releases. I'll get into stance really quickly. Not going to talk about it a lot. But stance, you want your inside foot up. And I'm not a big guy on having a lot of coaching points with stance. I want guys to be comfortable. The biggest thing is inside foot up. I'm a stickler for that just because of step counts, depths, and all those kind of things. But the biggest coaching point that I found that kind of resonates with my guys, nail that big toe in the ground. And so when I say that, what I'm saying is, imagine somebody has hammered a nail into your big toe. You're not going to be able to move that foot up. You're not going to be able to move that foot back. It's not going to be able to slide to the side. And it makes the kids focus on focusing all that weight, all that pressure on that big toe. And when they do that, a lot of times you'll see them, they'll roll over that front foot like how we want them to, and they'll bring that front foot up. The two things that I care about in stance and start really are having that big toe nailed into the ground and then getting that back foot either to balance, as quickly as possible, or get, plus yardage as soon as possible. The faster we can get across the line of scrimmage, I think, is better for us. And so that's kind of how I teach it. A lot of people talk about 80-20 weight, foot space, and, I got something on here, off versus press. Of course, when you get pressed, you might want to have your stance a little bit tighter just so we can come to balance and gain ground sooner. But those are the really only coaching points. I say head over shoulders, shoulders over knees, knees over toes. That's all coaching talk. But really, I want the guys to be comfortable, want to be in a driving stance, want that big toe nail on the ground so they're not taking false steps. And then, of course, I just want that back foot coming up as soon as possible. We start talking about the start, push off the front foot. And so when I say push off, nail that big toe on the ground, have all that weight roll through that big toe. Now we're gaining ground. We want to hammer that elbow back just like we were running track. So we're coming out the blocks on track. You want to hammer that arm back. You want to have good arm drive, good knee drive, all those things. And we're treating that like a drive phase in track. Good forward body lean, vertical demeanor. We want to close the cushion on that DB as soon as possible to make him feel uncomfortable. And so to do that, when I say close the cushion, I want everything to look like go. So I'm teaching my guys, no matter what route we're running, make everything look like go. And then we build our tree off of that. And so, that's just my coaching points. If anybody has any questions, we can stop for a second. I think all that's pretty good stuff. I think it's all stuff everybody knows. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Otherwise, I'm going to keep moving on.
Yeah, we're good right now, Coach. I'll
right.
let you know.
So stance and start, just a few drills. Everybody's done them. But if you watch right here, we talk about stance and start. So guy on the left, if we rewind a little bit, see if I can pause it right on it. So guy on the left right here, he's going to have what we call his big toe nailed into the ground. Guy on the right, he's not. He's going to have a false step. And so, when I speak of false steps, I'm not a huge stickler for false steps because I want guys to be natural. I don't want them thinking. I want them to come off the ball fast. But right here's a good example of, nailing your big toe on the ground, not moving that front foot versus on the right, a guy who's going to move that front foot. You see it's tilted inward. He's going to have to straighten that foot up and run straight. So that he's wasting time. He's wasting energy, like we all know. So guy on the left, no wasted movement, comes out the block faster. And if I pause it right here, so right here, guy on the left, he's already putting his, second step in the ground. That first foot's in the ground. He's already lifted that second foot up. Now he's moving. Guy on the right, he's still in place. It's a little thing like that, but just nailing that big toe on the ground, rolling over that foot makes a big difference. And, kids say, hey, Coach, what's the difference? Hey, it's a yard already. Before the plays even started, he's a yard deeper. He's a yard faster. He's ready to put, pressure on that DB. All right, we use the same thing with shoots. So now both of these guys are doing a good job nailing that big toe on the ground, no false steps. And the shoots are just, to reinforce that drive phase. Again, things we've all done in the past. One thing I do like to do is, if you'll notice, Coach Brewer kind of brought it to my attention. I kind of did it in the past unknowingly, but he really made a coaching point. And so I've started doing this, putting guys on the line. So if you see all these guys on the line, because a lot of times, in stance and start, guys want to put that back foot behind that front foot. Okay, you do that, the first thing you got to do is move it either to the side or you got to swing it around to get going forward. So you put them on a line. Now they need to straddle the line. Have the front foot on one side, the back foot on the other side. Keeps them balanced, gives them good knee drive, and now it's less false steps. And just filming from this angle and having guys on that line, it's a mental thing where now if a guy's, he's got a weak right leg and now he drifts to the right or drifts to the left on his start him on that line. Now he gets rep after the rep for hitting it straight because he's following the line. When he gets on the field, no lines, he's ready to go. It's all muscle memory. Another good drill is just the chase drill. Again, not reinventing the wheel, but now we're just making guys, not only the technique, now can you be technically sound in crunch time with a guy behind you. When that dog's behind you, you're running for your life, can you keep your technique? So that's a good job right there. If you don't have time to do it one at a time, you can do it in groups. If you still don't, if you have even less time, you can do the whole group at once. So it's a really easy drill, chase drill. Just get stance and starts, gets guys lubed up for practice. All right, so we talk about practice film. Again, want everything to look like go. So we look right here. We look to the left. Got a receiver. He's running a slant route But watch the DB's reaction. He's smoking off the ball full speed to the left. DB's backing up, and now he's running a slant, but he's full speed off the ball. That's a good job knee drive, good job arm action. And that's a small window, but he gets open because of the way he comes off the ball. All right, same guy down here on the left side still. Now he's coming off the ball running a curl route. But again, arm action, knee drive, everything about it says go. So right here, if we stop at 10 yards, DB sitting, he breaks the cushion, DB gets out of there, now he's ready to stop and run the route. All right, doesn't get the ball, but it's a great job. Smoking off the ball, free access, knee drive, arm drive, everything looks like go, affecting that DB. All right. Again, down here at the bottom, just good off the ball. No wasted movement. Guy's not a blazer, but he's affecting that corner. All right. All right, so that's free access. So, I consider free access a release. Stance and starts a release. You come off the ball. Anytime you come off the ball, that's a release. It's your get off. All right, so now we talk about press release. The biggest thing is have a plan. Have your stance, whether you're going to have your feet closer together. You got to be ready to come to balance. You got to have a plan. You want to have your feet ready. You want to move the defender off his ground. A lot of times you see guys trying to release, their feet are moving, but their body's not. So I like to tell guys, get off the midline. So, again, if we're on that line, come off the sideline running stance and start drills or release drills, I need to get my crotch off of that line when I'm working release stuff. Because a lot of times what guys have a tendency to do is their feet are moving or they're moving their head back and forth, but their body never leaves the center line. A good DB is looking at your waist, he's looking at your hips. So if your hips and waist are staying on the middle line, you're not affecting them. So that's what I mean with get them off the line. All right, and then hands. Have your hands ready to combat. All right, so I'm not a big proponent of teaching a lot of different releases. I stick with the basics. So when I teach releases, I'm really teaching speed release, your one-step release, your two-step release, all right? When I'm talking about press releases, those are all I'm really teaching the guys. And what I tell them is releases are like, building blocks. They're like Legos. I can take 2 or 3 pieces or 1 or 2 pieces, put them together, and now I have something new. So I'm not going to be out there, teaching guys, a lot of different things. We're going to keep it basic, keep it simple, and then it's up to them to use their creativity to make releases more than what they are. So I can work a one-step. I can come to balance, then work a one-step. I can, hesitation, then work a two-step. These are pieces I can use, and like the hesitation to come to balance, I don't consider those releases. I consider those release techniques, in a way. And so just trying to figure out how we can use these pieces to build something new. We're talking about press release. And then we have dive release. When I say dive release, I mean dive inside, so your stem release, whether that's free access or whether it's press. I'm stemming in, getting vertical, and then, stretch release. What I consider stretch release would be a lot of times everybody knows cover 2 corner, stretching them out. So, the opposite of a dive where we dive inside. Now we're stemming outside, stretching them, and they're either going to stretch and bounce. If I say stretch and bounce, you're going to go outside a guy, or you're going to stretch and slip. Everybody pretty much knows that. Again, the blade technique, Coach Brew talked about it during his thing. I kind of got it from him. It's just a different way to teach the rip. It's a little bit more efficient at times. I really like it versus cover 2. The guys really liked it. And then the same releases that you work off the line, you can also work second level. So when I say second level, I'm saying 10 yards down the field, 5 yards, 5 to 10 yards down the field. And those would be your second level releases. So speed release. All right, so a lot of times speed release comes with a blade. All right, so now we're getting press, working on speed release. All right, right here, you see him. He's turning his shoulders. It's really a rip, but the reason we call it a blade is because right now, surface area, if I was to draw it, if a DB's trying to punch, he's got this much surface area, all right? It's a lot of surface area for him to hit. Even if he's not on target where he wants to hit, it's a chance he'll get a piece of you. Vice versa, boom, now he's skinny. He's decreased his surface area, kind of like a blade. So that's why we call it that. You're kind of like a sword. You're cutting through that guy's outside half. You're pulling that back shoulder, that back elbow back, pulling the front elbow forward, and it's almost like, you're trying to get sideways as quick as possible, make that guy miss, and now you can slip around him. So a lot of times the blade and the speed release are incorporated together just because they marry up. All right, so the biggest thing about, speed release, different drills you can work to work it, It's just I want to get hip to hip with that guy as soon as possible. You know, a lot of times guys get wide on the speed release because they don't want to get touched. I'm not so worried about getting touched. I like getting touched as a receiver. My thing is I want to get hip to hip with that DB and get him stacked as quickly as possible. So that's what I tell the guys. I don't tell them to get wide. I want to knock that hand down if he shoots, and I want to get hip to hip as quickly as possible because now I'm in position to stack. All right. So right here, you know, just example of a speed release right now. So when I speak releases to my guys, you know, we're always trying to dictate the tone to the DB. So when I speak to my guys, I talk in fight or flight response. And so if you've ever heard of it before, you know what fight or flight is. You know, if I step to somebody, they're either going to, you know, if I step to somebody, that's what I tell my kids. If I step to somebody in the alley with bad intentions, they're going to do one or two things. They're going to step up to me and be ready to fight, or I'm going to step up to them and they're going to back down. They're going to run. All right, so that's your flight response. So right now, you know, anytime we're watching film, especially one-on-ones and we're dissecting how the DB's playing us, I'm asking the kids, hey, what kind of DB is this? Is he a fight or flight guy? So right now, you know, you'll see, you know, the receiver right here, he takes a step. It's kind of like a little hesitation. He's not sure what DB's going to do. DB retreats off the snap. That's what we call flight response. So once he sees flight response, he's getting into it now. He knows he can free release. All right, so that's a good job by that kid. You know, he's just reading him. If that guy was to pressure up right now, it'd be considered fight response. So now he knows I got to make a move. Either way, whether he gets fight or flight, he's making the DB react. And when he makes the DB react, he knows what's coming. And when he knows what's coming, he's dictating the tempo, he's dictating the tone, he dictates what the DB is going to do because he's making him react. And when he reacts, we can react because we know something's about to happen. All right. Down here at the bottom, all right, so this is what we're talking about. You know, this is a speed release, but when we talk about pieces, you know, this kid's really good at working the hesitation. So he's going to work his hesitation release, kind of slide out, and then hit his speed release. So right now you take two pieces, all right, slide, you're getting a reading the guy, seeing what he's going to do. All of a sudden you see retreat, you see flight response. Now you know I can hit it. And as you see the DB, because this kid usually slides, and then he gets into a release. The DB's waiting on the release. Now all of a sudden he slides and then hits the go. Corner's not ready, gets caught on his heels, and now he's beat deep. All right, so that's just a few of the things, you know, that we talk about. All right, up at the top. All right, does a good job, takes a false step, thinks he's getting quick jam, but does a good job blading right there, getting past the guy. So right now he's turned his shoulders, he's gotten past the guy. He needs to start working a stack. But he beats the guy bad, catches the ball, you know, makes a good play. All right, same thing right here. This has been my time when I was in Jacksonville. Guy up at the top. Again, right now he's working a speed release. He gets outside. DB doesn't shoot the hands. He doesn't have to blade. Right here he does a good job. Hand combat right there at point of contact. Now he's over the top. Now it's a house call. So, you know, we work a speed release. We're just trying to get stacked to that guy as soon as possible. We want to be hip to hip. We don't want to be too wide. And that's, you know, those are the main coaching points. All right, does anybody have questions on speed release or anything like that?
Nothing right now, Coach.
All right, sounds good. All right, so one step. So now we're working on one step. So everything is a counter to something else. So we build everything off of speed. So we're talking speed release. The counter to a speed release would be to fake the speed release and then go inside, which is your one step. So, you know, a lot of times we're talking about the one step. We're warming up on the ladders. We're getting used to guys getting their body off the midline. So when you watch this drill, you're going to see, I'm trying to see if I can get this guy's crotch off the midline. So you see right here, he's moving it just a little bit. So right here he starts. Now he's to the side. So that's all I'm trying to do when we do this drill is get his crotch off the midline. This guy does a really good job of it, bringing shoulders in his head, trying to get off the midline. Can still do a little bit better job of it. You know, we're just working something at the top. All right, so this is what we consider a progression right here. So what I'll do is I'll put a cone out. The objective of this is not for the guys to get to the cone. It's an angle. This is the angle where I want the one step to go. It's not about reaching the cone. It's just the angle. So what we'll do is we'll work 3 reps. So that's a way, you know, just to get the mental and physical reps at it. They're in their stance. One step. All right, reset. Get back on it. All right, one step. reset, get back on it. And now the third time is live. All right, so it's a way to steal reps, get the muscle memory going, and really work it. Same thing here. All right, we're going to work, get a release. You see the guy on the left is a lot more twitchy than the guy on the right. Got to get his body off, got to come to balance. And what you like to see is if we're working on a horizontal line, you like to see this one step cross the line. You like to see this one step cross the line. So that means we're gaining ground. You never want to lose ground or be backwards, all right? Again, come off the line, you'll see it here. What you want to see by all these guys is their crotch coming off the midline. You don't want to stick that kickstand out. You want to actually see the body getting off the midline. So right here, if we're watching, all right, could do a better job, but it's not bad getting the body off the midline. Anything is better than nothing. But this is a good angle because it shows you, who's getting their body off the midline. You watch this guy right here. Great job getting body off the midline. Right here, his body is completely off the line. He's almost a yard off. So that's a good job. All right. Guy on the right, we watch him. Midline, he's going to do more of a kickstand. So that's what I call a kickstand. The body didn't come as much. The foot just went out. So that's not what we want. We want to bring the whole body with us, bring our center of gravity with us, and now we're going to affect that DB. And we just kick this out. If he's a good DB and he's watching this, he sees no change. He's not going to move. And he's going to be right here waiting on us when we come back. We're going to bring it right back to him. All right, so the drills are very simple. I'm not big on a lot of creative drills. I want to steal as many reps as possible so all these things become muscle memory for these guys. So we're going to rep the basics over and over and over again. All right, so right here, now, we worked it on air a lot. Now we're going to start working with live reps. So they'll start with me, just really working it. Work with me. I want to see that body come off the midline. I want to see these guys affect me. That's a good job right there. All right, so now we get into the reps. Again, we're talking about how can we put pieces of a release together. So right now we're working in the slot. At East Carolina, we had our outside foot up in the slot. So his outside foot's up. He's trying to work a one step. So, okay, common sense would tell you, hey, coach, his outside foot's up. He's got to take the one step with his inside foot and then go back out. Well, that's what we talk about putting the pieces together. So right now, he's got the outside foot up, he's going to do what I call taking up the slack. And so when I say taking up the slack, I'm saying that he's got to close the space in between them. He's off the ball, DB's off the ball. He's got to close the space, and now he can work. So what he's going to do is he's going to take up the slack, close the space between them. And what I like to say is when you take up the slack, it's like fishing. If you throw that reel out there and that hook's in the water and you leave that line loose, you won't know when you have a bite. If you reel in the slack, keep that line tight. When that fish bites, you're going to immediately know, so now you can hook him. Same thing here. I want to bring up the slack. I want to take up the slack. So now when I give him that move and he bites, I know it immediately and I can get into the rest of my route. So right here, he's going to take up the slack. Now he works a one step to the outside. Again, we're talking fight or flight. He's in a fight mode. He lunges, but he misses. And so that's what we're talking about with the one step. Take up the slack, one step. Good job. I tell my guys, anytime we do hand combat, you want to try to be 1 for 1 or 2 for 2, meaning if that DB shoots 2 hands, I need to use 2 hands. So right now you get 2-hand shoot. He's doing a 2-hand swipe. Now he's getting upfield. All right, great job by that guy. All right, same thing right here. All right, so when we talk about releases, again, good job. He was right here. Good job coming, gaining ground. But one thing I'll say he needs to work on is there's a lot of space. A lot of space for that DB to recover right here. I want this guy to take up the slack. Take up the slack because what happens is now, because there's so much space between them, he affects the DB in a way we want. Right here, the DB, he took the bait, but he's so far away, now that guy can stay on top. All right, so that's why we want to take up the slack so now we can get around him. All right, so right here, same thing. We got to take up the slack, take up the slack. All right, now he's going to get a one step inside. All right, now we get a one hand, so 1 for 1. That's a good job by him. And so that's how you get your one step to work, and that's how you're able to work either inside or outside off a one-step stick. You can take a step and then one step to the inside. You can one step, straight into it. There's a lot of different variations, but when I talk one step, 2 step, I'm talking about the physical, jab step. I'm not talking about necessarily just the footwork. I'm talking about when you're jabbing that guy and actually making a move. All right. Same kid right here. Now he's going to work a foot fire. You know, like I said, if you're going to work a foot fire, don't be working backwards. Hit him with the one step. So I like the one step right here. He gets inside. All right, the guy misses. Now his hips are locked. Great job not going inside now, trying to work upfield. I like to see him widen back against this guy. Lean against this guy now. Keep your window open before you break. And now you just got to catch the ball. All right, but it's a good route, good one step, good job at separation. So right now he wins the get off. So if we're talking in my meeting room, I'm going to say, hey, what do you like about this route? He's going to say, Coach, I won the get off. You know, I did okay on the get vertical portion. I got the separation. So, you know, I won all three phases. So I tell my guys, if you win all three phases of the route, you'll be wide open. So right now, you know, for a slant route, this guy's wide open. And so this is what I tell him. I can teach you how to get wide open. It's your job to catch it. So right now, you like to see that guy catch the ball. All right.
Got a question here for you, Coach.
Yes, sir.
On your hand combat, do you use swat and swim, or do you use a wiper technique? Or a wiper technique.
So really, if they're shooting, you know, outside hand, so let's say I'm on the left side, you know, he's on the left side with me, and he's going to shoot the right hand. The right hand would be the DB's outside arm. So if he's shooting the outside arm, it's going to be hard for me to, with my right hand, get across and just rip them and just swim them or swipe them, or what people say. So, you know, usually if he's shooting the outside hand, I want to work a swat and rip, or I want to work a swat cross. I don't work a swim, because swim, you know, kind of envisions those guys getting that arm high. And what I tell them is, if you show your ribs, DB's making barbecue. So, you know, you don't want to show your ribs. You don't want to do those things. So the only way, you know, the way that works is when you say swat cross, and we are talking swim. Swat cross, they're going to punch through almost that DB's, you know, chin. And now we're getting that hand across, and now we can work it. Vice versa, we're still on the left side. He shoots his inside hand, which is his left hand. Now I can take my right arm and just work a swipe, or what I call a shed, get that hand off me now and get into my route. So I hope that answers the question.
Yes, sir. We're good.
All right. So again, we talking one step. You know, if you look in the slot up at the top, right here, he's working his one step. His outside foot's up. So a one step would be to his inside foot and then go back out. So right now he's been running, you know, this kid was a master at running the over route. So he's been running that all night. So now the DB's thinking he's running the over route. Does a great job with his body inflection. And now he's getting back out on the flat route. It's a great job diving down. And I tell these guys, almost like playing basketball, you're working a crossover. You can see the white gloves. He's almost putting the ball between his legs right there, because he's using his arms. Everything about his body is getting in and out of that break. And he's doing a good job. All right. Down here at the bottom, same thing right here. Kind of works a false step. But you see down at the bottom right here, does a good job once he puts that one foot, gets that DB thinking it's an outside release, and now he's able to get back inside. All right. So that's what we're talking about. You can probably see it. See if I got a better angle of it. All right, so right here, you like to see him be a little more, get a little more off that midline, but it's a good job. DB doesn't have good discipline, tries to shoot, misses, and now we get upfield. All right. So up top right here, again, putting the pieces of the puzzle together. He's going to work it kind of like a little hesitation hop into a one step. Boom, right there. Guy shoots and misses. Now we're wide open. So we usually tell this guy, you always want to get an outside release, you know, must outside, protect this for the flat route. But right here, the guy overplays it. He dips inside, boom. And right now he's wanting to get off. He's wanting to get vertical. He doesn't need to win separation because he beat him so bad. You know, he does a great job. He's got to get the ball. So, you know, those are what we're talking about. You can see it from this view. Hesitation is almost like a stretch and slip almost. So, boom. You know, now that one step is very violent, quick. Now, boom, now he's getting inside. But you see, if we draw, if I back this up, you know, that's the midline. Get your crotch off the midline. You know, his crotch gets almost all the way out here. So he started here, got all the way out here. He's lulling DB to sleep. Now DB's forced to get off his grass, and now we can get back inside. So that's kind of the coaching points. All right. So, off of the one step. Okay. So the one step is the counter to the speed. So what's the counter to the one step? Obviously the two step. All right. So we rep this. I still want guys to get off the midline. And now the coaching point is with any route, guys have a tendency a lot of times on two step. That is the DB's midline. They want to come here and then come all the way back to here and then try to beat this guy back here. All right. So, we all know the saying, get leverage, keep leverage. So I don't want to go down this man's center, get to his left side, go back to his right side, then try to finish to his left, because now it's a chance that he's going to be able to catch me. He's going to be throwing his hands if he can catch me. Right now I want to attack what I call half a man. So my aiming points now, I want to take this jab outside of him. All right, and now I don't want to step back across his body. I want to step down the crotch of the center line. All right, so my left foot, boom. My right foot should step right on his crotch. I should almost smell his breath when I step at him like that, because I'm jabbing physically at him. And by stepping into his ground and his area, I want to get that fight or flight response, because now if he lunges, I use my hands, release back outside, I got him. If I lunge back at him, he backs up. Now I can shave it, get hip to hip with him, and now I can go past him. So that's the big coaching points on two-step release. So what I like to do anytime I'm coaching two-step release is move the bag back some initially, because what happens is if you get the bag right on guys, they tend to not gain ground. They just go like this, and they get up. All they really do is split their feet. So the best way to get them to learn and get comfortable gaining ground, back the bag up a little bit. Now they can work it. Same thing right here. Talked about it earlier. Want guys to see the aiming points. So now I'm going to start the guys on this cone. All right. Now they're aiming for this cone, releasing back outside. Or vice versa. There's another cone down here, aiming for this cone, aiming for this cone. But it's an easy way to get work. The guys learn the angles that they're trying to take. And this guy does a great job. You'll see he's a yard off. First step gains almost a yard. Second step gains a little bit more. And now he's gaining ground the whole time, able to work and release. All right, same thing here. Just want to see these guys gain ground. Want to see them get the wave. Want to see them bring their shoulders in their head. Creates a wave that DB can't follow. Great job by this kid. You got to have your arms pumping. So a lot of times, when we run straight ahead, arms are pumping forward and back. But if you think about basketball, if you're doing a crossover, where your arms going? Your arms are going side to side. So that's the way you kind of got to be able to transition from horizontal movement. Those arms are going side to side to now pumping up and down once we're trying to get vertical. And so that's a lot of times, guys, you see them when they're released, they're trying to pump their arms on the release the same way they would run forward. And it's just anatomically, it doesn't work. Your body's not made to go like that. If I want horizontal movement, I got to bring my arms horizontally. The same way if you watch Allen Iverson, same way he held that ball out there and then brought it back across people's body. Everything was going horizontally. So that's the coaching point for that. Again, live reps. Again, you're not seeing a whole bunch of cool drills. It's not about being cool or doing something innovative. To me, I want as much muscle memory as I can get these guys. So when they go back on the field and do it against the DB, they can't be wrong because they've already done it 1,000 times. If you do something 10,000 hours, you're a master of it. That's the old saying. So if I can get these guys 1,000 reps throughout the season, they'll be a master of it. So, all right, so we're talking two-step. Good job by this kid. He's going to work, a come to balance. He doesn't know what the DB's going to do, so he's going to come to balance. Then he's going to get into a two-step. All right, so right here, come to balance. Boom. All right, now he's assessing the DB. He's not backing up. Now I'm in space, working two-step. All right, again. I'm talking, he shoots, fight, response. I know it's coming, I can avoid it. All right, come to balance, two-step, now I can avoid it. All right, so that's a good job by this kid. All right, same guy. Now he's working two-step. All right, so this is straight off the line. All right, there's no hesitation, no anything. This is a textbook two-step, coming right out your stance, gaining ground the whole time. And if I pause it right here, all right, fight, response, right? I forced him to fight, response. Boom, boom. Now I can get past him, all right? Just got to get him and the quarterback on the same page. Throws the hand up because he beat him so bad. All right. Right here, you see it, footwork, boom, gains ground right here. Now he's not going to step, back across this guy. He's going to step down the midline at his crotch. Boom. Forces that guy to shoot hands. But now, it's like I'm saying, if you step at the crotch, now you're fighting half a man. So when I tell my kids, hey, if I'm about to get in a fight for my life, do I want to fight a guy with 2 good arms or 1 good arm, all right? I want to fight the guy with 1 good arm. So if I'm going to do that, I want to fight half a man. So I don't want to get back across his body where he can get this hand involved. This hand doesn't matter because I'm on the other side. All right, so now I just got to get that near hand off me. Boom. Great job. Boom, boom. And now get vertical. All right, so right here, now we're working a 2-step into a slant. So now he's going to work his 2-step. All right, 9 times out of 10, he works his 2-step. He's running a go route or a deeper ball, outside releasing, gets the DB's hips flipped, and boom, now he can come back underneath. All right, so one thing I'll say about him right here, I like to see him get across that line or at least get to that line on the first step. He's not getting ground, but he's doing a good job with his body and his arms getting into it. All right, that's a good job pushing to your depth. What I tell my guys on slants or a lot of these routes, in any sport you play, the worst position you can be in is your feet too close or your feet crossed over. So our mission, anytime we run these throw-by curls, anything like that, I want to get these DB's feet either close or cross. So right now he's close. I know I can win, all right? That's the coaching point there. All right, same thing right here. Works a 2-step, kind of hops into it, but good body inflection. DB 1 for 1 right there, does a great job. Now he's tracking it. Perfect ball, perfect catch. All right, so that's what we're talking about. So right here, if we run this fade, I know we're talking releases, but right now he's too wide. He's too wide, and now he's giving the guy the angle to cut him off. So this is if I rewind it, I want, as soon as I get this move right here, I'm trying to get hip to hip, all right? I want to be hip to hip as soon as possible because now I can lean against him. The ball should be going to the back pylon. I can lean against him and then separate to the ball instead of having to make a great catch. While it is a great catch, he can make it easier on himself. All right, 2-step right here. All right, comes to balance. He doesn't lose ground, but at least he's even right here. But the good thing he does, head, shoulders, hands, everything are really pumping. So now he's working that DB. All right, does a good job digging, finishing the play, all right? So right here, he's not really gaining ground, a little bit of a false step. But if you see, right here, we're talking getting off the midline. Gets that crotch off the midline, gets that crotch, now he's ready to go. That's a good job with his head and shoulders and really making him buy the route. All right, so down here at the bottom, working a 2-step. So now, again, it's what we call taking up the slack. So now this DB's got space between us. I got to take that space up so now I can feel when he bites. 2-step, he bites. Now I'm able to get behind him, all right? See if I can show him behind. So right here. All right, you see it? Taking up the slack, working to the 2-step. Now he needs to get hip to hip. So now it's easier for this throw by. He's got so much space. He's got to find a guy to throw him by. All right. It's probably the best one I've seen. We're running the ball right here, but this guy does a great job. He was struggling with it earlier in the season, being patient with his 2-step. So we basically told him, hey, you're playing basketball, you're crossing over. This is what you need to do. Just do it like a crossover. You're working between the legs and behind the back or something. So great job by this kid down here, gaining ground, and really coming off the midline. Boom, boom, cutaway. All right. Show it again. 1, 2, cutaway. I think I got it from a different view. So same thing right here. You'll really see how coming off the line and gaining ground helps him get open. You'll see it right before he leaves the screen. So that's a good job by that kid. All right. So right here, this is where I debate whether to add another release. So what this kid is going to do, he's going to work his 2-step. All He wants to work a two-step into a slant. But, you know, as a reactionary thing, as soon as he steps to go back outside, the DB's overplaying him, he steps back inside. So technically, you know, it's almost what you consider a three-step, you know, release because he's going out, and then finishing in. But I put it in the two-step because, again, I think it's more of a reaction than, you know, actually trying to do a three-step. And as long as guys can naturally react to it, I don't want to overcoach it and add too many things to the bag. So right here does a good job, 1-2. He's already got him so beat on the two-step. He just goes inside now for the slant. All right. Right here. 1-2. Goes in back inside. So if you're really looking at the feet, it's a good job being patient. And, you know, a lot of times guys think it's how fast your feet move on these releases. It's not. You know, I was taught that quickness isn't how fast, you know, you can move your feet. It's how fast you can get, you know, your feet to change direction. So a lot of times guys can chop and foot fire stuff very fast, and everybody thinks they're quick. They're not going anywhere. It's not quick to me. Functional quickness is I can stick my foot in the ground, one step later be going the other way, stick this foot in the ground, one step later be going the other way. That's true quickness and what we call change of direction. All right. So now we're talking about stem releases. So again, you know, balls inside here, going outside. We're talking about working stem release. So boom, 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 working outside, cover two corner. Now when I say stretch and slip, I want a one step out and then slip inside. So that's, again, now we're taking the slack. We're taking up the slack at a cover two corner, working a one step. So that's all we're doing. We're still using the same principles that we've already talked about. Take up the slack, one step, but now we're creating something new, which is a stretch and slip. All right, so right there, working off the bag, stretch and slip. All right, now we'll go against live. You know, what I'll do is, you know, start off early. I'll make it easy on these guys if I don't move, or they're working what we call a stretch and bounce. So right now, you're stretching that guy. You know, he doesn't move, or you feel like you get leverage to the outside, just take it. Vice versa, you're stretching. Now I'm going to slide out. You're going one step and come inside. You know, so that's two ways to work it, stretch and slip and stretch and bounce. So right now, trying to get leverage. All right, good job. He's even. Now you got a two-way go. He goes outside. You like to see this guy get more even. So now he gives himself a true two-way go. It makes this DB either move or hold his ground. All right, that's a good job right there. All right, and then now, this time we're moving. Now this is just basic teaching these guys now, because a lot of times guys do the drill, bags don't move. Now they got to read a guy that's actually moving. You know, now it's a little bit harder. But a good job stretching. That guy wants to keep his leverage outside. Now he's giving me the lane inside. So that's what we're doing there. All right, same thing. Boom, now you mix it up. Two guys doing two different things. Same thing here, just getting guys used to read and moving targets. You know, we're just trying to work every different scenario. All right. So right now we get into the top. I think it's better from this view. Kid right here, kid from earlier, he loves working the slide out. So what you'll see is he's going to slide this guy out. He tries to keep leverage right here. Boom, now he's giving me the lane inside. All right. So he does a good job, boom, getting inside, taking the lane, working back outside, because now cover two, he's got to stay away from this safety if you ever hope to get the ball. That's a good job on the stretch, slip. All right. Same guy right here. Down here at the bottom of the screen. Working the stretch, slip. All right, so now take up the slack, one step, 2 for 2. Boom, gets him off of him. Now he's in perfect position. Boom, stacking that guy. Quarterback want to take a shot. He can take a shot down here. All right. Again, squeeze sets. A lot of times these guys protecting outside leverage. Work them outside, slip inside. Now you're in the middle of the zone. Get the ball. Take up the slack, one step, 2 for 2. Boom, sit it down, get the ball. All right, does anybody have any questions about stretch and slip? If not, I'll probably just move on.
We're good right now, Coach. Yeah, but if obviously if anybody has any, man, just drop it in the chat.
All right.
Yeah, we're good, Coach.
All right, so right here, this will be the last one. Again, right here, left of the screen, works him out, slips inside. Stretch, slip. All right. Actually, I do like this. Is probably one of my favorite routes. Kid didn't play a lot. He was great taking technique to the field, stretching him, slipping back inside. Again, DB's feet's crossed. Now get vertical, win the break point. Great job. Show you. All right, and that's pretty much all for stretch and slip. All right, now we're talking dive.
Coach, you got one question in regards to the stretch and slip. I was asked
Okay.
if it's mainly versus cover 2 corner.
Yeah, it's mainly versus cover 2. So, you can work it anytime you're getting, you get 2-man, those guys trying to funnel you inside, and then you can still work it. There's different situations that you can use it, but it's anytime you're getting a guy who's head up outside leverage. A lot of times you'll see guys use it. I didn't have a lot of clips of it, but probably the best place to use it where you see it more than anything is when you're in the slot. And let's say you're running that seam bender, seam read, whatever you call it. A lot of times kids, they got – it's that weird guy that got squat on them. They don't know whether to go inside or go outside. So you try to stretch them. If he lets you go outside, you stay outside. Now you can keep your distance away from that one high safety. Vice versa, you stretch him. He wants to protect that leverage and funnel you back to the safety. Now I can slip inside. Now I got to do my best to stack him and stay outside the hash so I can stay away from that middle field safety. But those are probably the 2 situations where it's most widely used. I need to find some better clips of kids doing it in the slot because that's probably the best place to use it day in and day out. Using on the inside, on the outside, you're only using it versus cover 2.
Got one more question here, Coach. During the week, how often do you rep these releases? Is it every day or is it different releases depending on the day or team you're playing?
It's a little bit of everything. So right now, like I said, when I got here for spring ball, I'm a brand new coach. I'm working with a clean slate. Kids don't know me from a can of paint. They don't know, anything about my techniques, anything about my verbiage. We're going to start, first 15 practices, all we did was a 1-step or a 2-step every single day because I got to drill it into them and get it muscle memory as soon as possible. So we're going to work that 1-step. We're going to work that 2-step, one or the other, if not both, every single day. Vice versa, when you're in camp, you got a little time with individual, you might work 1 or 2 each day again. And then once you get in the season, you're basically – everything is preparing you for Saturday. So, if we're playing a team that's going to do a lot of cover 2, a lot of outside leverage where we got to slip inside, we're going to need a lot of stretch and slip. We might not work any 1-step or 2-step that week. It might be all stretch and slip, dive, releases, things that we know we're going to get versus a zone team that's trying to press us and funnel us inside. But I think, once it's in the season, it's week to week. But when you're out of season, you want to rep everything as much as possible. Because like I said, anytime you can get a free rep at it, it's going to be muscle memory for your kids. And the more reps they get, the more comfortable they'll feel doing it, on game day, whether that's Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. All right.
Awesome. Yeah, we're good, Coach.
All right. So, again, now we already talked stretch and slip, stretch and bounce. Now we're talking dive, all right? So if we're just going inside like this, it's just dive, all right? Vice versa, if this kid, we're playing a corner and this corner wants to try to overplay us inside, not let us inside, dive and bounce. So try to keep the verbiage the same as possible for these kids and not use a lot of different words. Want everything to feel the same. Want to try to make everything as close to as possible. So anytime we're working dive, we went loose. We try to lose 4 and really get into that alley at Louisville. I don't really like teaching losing 4 yards off free access. I'm more of a 2-yard guy personally because once you get pressed, like I said, it's muscle memory. These kids been going 4 yards on every drill. When it gets in the game, they get pressed. They're going to be going 6, 7 yards inside. Now they're way in here. Vice versa, if their mind is always 2 yards, they feel pressed. Guys washing them down. When they get 3 or 4 yards, the alarm's going off in their head. I need to get back outside. And so I like lose 2, better than lose 4, but that's what we were teaching at Louisville, and we were successful with it. So, different strokes for different folks. But, anytime – so there's 2 ways to get here. Anytime we're talking dive release, there's 2 ways to get there. So, when you're doing stretch, obviously you're just pushing off this foot and working out. The problem is now I want to get inside, but my inside foot's up. So how can I get there? So, either 1 or 2 ways. Either you can, set the angle. So we're basically taking a 1-step. So I take that 1-step jab, then come inside, get vertical. That's the first way. That's the best way to do it. You know, if you're feeling pressed, that's going to affect that guy, get him off your ground. Now I can slip inside. Vice versa, you know, a lot of people, it's controversial. They tell you don't lift the front foot up. As a player, I liked it, and the players that's played for me have liked it. You know, if I'm really feeling pressed, and I know I got an aggressive corner who's going to try to shoot his hand as soon as the ball snap, what's stopping me from right now taking this front foot, picking it up, and setting my angle here? Because now he's going to lunge. All my body goes inside. Now I've taken inside leverage now. He's not expecting it because nobody ever lifts the front foot up. And now I can get inside and get vertical. That's my thought process. It's what I like. You know, some of you guys probably cringing, you know, when I say that. But I have no problem lifting the front foot up as long as you're ready to use your hands. Because the biggest thing is you got to decrease the surface area. And if you're shooting with the inside hand, you got to get it off of you now. Right here, he's setting the angle, getting inside. And then right now, you don't want to see this guy step that foot in the ground and decelerate. You want to see him accelerate through the cut. The vertical portion is the most important part. When he hits that foot in the ground, everything's got to be full speed this way because now that DB is alert. He thinks something's up, and now he's on his toes. If we just come in here and we ooze and we round it, he doesn't feel any pressure to him. He feels in his comfort zone. So the vertical portion is the hardest part. Right here, I'm working with my slot receivers, diving in vertical. Now this time I overplay it. Now he's got to slip inside. And so these guys, when I'm doing these drills, they have no idea, you know, what leverage or what technique I'm going to do. And I'm giving them all type of looks they can see in the game. You know, I'm watching film that week, and I'm seeing how their nickel's going to play our slots. And I'm trying to give them every look they're going to see and steal as many reps. They can get 3 or 4 reps every day. But what they're going to see in the game is they're that much more comfortable when it happens. Again, you don't see a lot of crazy drills, not a lot of footwork and ladders and cones and, you know, all that stuff, man. I believe in stealing reps and getting as many repetitions as possible. Winston October, I had a chance to hear him speak at the convention, and, you know, he basically said, you know, plays are just extensions of drills. So, you know, that really resonated with me because that's how I feel. Every drill, if I can't take the drill straight to the field and see it in action, then I don't really want to do it because what are we working on? If they can't directly use it or impact them in a game situation, why do I want to use it? All right. I don't know what happened here. Like that.
Coach, got a question here. What's the route tree off of this specific release?
So we're working dive. We can work curl. You know, a lot of times you'll see dive inside, working curl route. Boom, that's one. Next one you see dive inside. You know, some people call it a bench route, working the out route. So what we do is we kind of have a corner route. So you dive inside, get inside. Now if he's, you know, what I call underneath the cut, where you can get over top of him, or he's inside leverage, you want to tee it high, let it fly, high angle corner. All right, vice versa, you dive inside, and let's say that guy's high up top. Now I want to come out flat and round it, speed turn it, and come flat. So, you know, now you got your curl, you got your corner, you can dive inside, run your skinny, you know, slant. So now you got a few things. You can dive inside, run the post, you know. And if you run the post, a lot of times teams, if you run a lot of posts, you run the post corner. So now you're giving yourself, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different breaking points, you know, off of this one release. Now that DB's got to be ready for all of them. So, you know, most of the time if you're working a dive release, you're in an offense where you can protect it. And that's the main thing. Like a lot of these routes, you know, so when I talk to my guys, I'm telling them as a receiver, the art of deception is making everything look the same. You know, everybody has a room full of guys who want to do every move in the book, every route. But if every route looks completely different, every route is different, how are you getting timing with the quarterback? You know, how are you getting to your stop on time? How are you getting to your break point on time, getting where you need to be if you have no idea what the timing is, you don't have any concept of play. You know, one-on-one, all that stuff is cool. But, you know, when we're playing game day, we got to have everything look the same. So, you know, anytime we're going to be a dive release team and work this corner route or this post, we got to have another break to come off of it. Hope that answers your question. All right, so right now, getting press, working a dive release. One step sets the angle. All right, the guy's hard press. Boom, he takes the bait. Now we get inside. So right now, he wins to get off. He wins to get vertical. So now this is what I call the kid is in the driver's seat. He's in the driver's seat. He's on this kid. He can go wherever he wants to, and this kid is at his mercy. You know, he's running the corner route right now. So what I like to see him do is, you know, we'll talk about it later. We'll talk about techniques, but work a nod release, and then tee it high, let it fly. Because the first thing, if you inside release and then give an inside move, he's chasing the inside hip. You'll get him. Doesn't work the inside release. DB still chasing the inside hip right here. Sticks to the corner. He wins the route, gets a separation. Now he just got to go up and high point it. All right, but a good route. We talk about dive release. All right, same thing right here. Down at the bottom. One step gets inside. Now what I like to see this guy do, one step, get inside. Now lean. Lean against this guy and separate. Because in here, the backside safety, you know, he's here, so he's not a factor. But a lot of times that guy's going to be here running that post route. You don't want him to become a factor. So lean, open your window back up, create space, and then separate. He's trying to lean, but he'll do a better job. But when we talk about the one step, boom, freezes the DB, gets inside now, gets vertical, wins to get off, wins to get vertical. Now he just got to win separation. He's got to lean against that guy, you know, nod him. He's got to do something at the top to get that guy off of his back hip. Now he's working on contested catch. All right, right here. Again, same kid. He loves working the outside slide. The biggest thing we got to work on is giving him another tool in his belt that he feels comfortable with. But right here, outside slide. The guy's waiting on the outside release. Boom, almost about to cross his feet. Goes back inside. Great job with his hands. All right, so right here, guys grabbing on him, holding on him. And so at this point, he's chasing inside hip for going inside. But he wins the route because of technique, patience, and being under control. That's a great job not giving up on the route by that kid. All right, up at the top, you know, we'll talk about one dive and dive and bounce. We hadn't seen that one yet. So right here, this kid, he's working the corner route. So he's getting inside. This DB's going to try to wash him. Boom, goes inside. Right now, you know, when I teach this thing, you know, I'm telling these kids at some point there's a cliff, all right? So if you're right here, you're on land, everything's good. You come off here, you know, all this area out here, you fall off the cliff, all right? So right now, this kid, his alarm in his head should be going off. Everything should tell him, I'm about to fall off the cliff. I need to get back outside. There's no more space inside because, you know, here's help. So boom, the alarm goes off just in time, sticks it back out. Now he catches a great ball, leaves himself room on the sideline. Not satisfied with the catch. Good job getting yards after the catch. When we talk about dive and bounce, boom, throw by. So, you know, we're talking building blocks. We're talking about releases. He works a one step. Boom, that's one piece. Works a dive release. That's two pieces. Works a throw by. That's three. All right. So he's working, you know, three different, you know, route techniques to get open. And he doesn't even really know it because he's repped it so many times. It's just natural, just muscle memory. He doesn't have to think about it. All right. That's all. You know, we'll go to the next part. We've already touched on this, so I won't spend a lot of time on this. I think I've been spending, you know, a little too much time probably talking about these releases. We talk about take up slack. All right, so when I teach take up slack, you know, Coach Brewer's words was power steps. So right now, you know, but we're saying the same thing. We got to find a way to decrease this area, get on this guy's toes, and create that fight or flight response. Boom, good job stepping on his toes. Now I'm working a release. All right. Get on his toes, work a release. So, you know, at the beginning, we'll tell these guys, hey, take up the slack, work a one step. Take up the slack, work a two step. Take up the slack, work a inside one step. Take up slack, work outside one step. We'll try to give them all the different combinations, you know, early on and then let them work. So, you know, now same thing. press bail. You know, guy soft shoeing. You know, you're thinking you're going to have to work quick release. He backs up. Now you got to read it. All right, so that's just reading. Drills to read it. All right, same thing right here. Guy's going to soft shoe it, shoot the hands, 1 for 1, read it. All right, same thing here. Now he's working a 2-step. Take up the slack, work a 2-step. Good job. All right, so right here, take up the slack. He's taking up the slack, taking the slack. That guy's just backing up, take it. Don't waste any time. If he's backing up, when you take up that slack, take it. All right, right here, taking up the slack into a 1-step, all right? So now, you know, he's taking up the slack. He can definitely take 1 step out like he did, but now because he's taking up the slack, depending on what foot he hits it with, he can almost take a step inside and come out too, whichever one he wants. Boom, 1 step, good head, good shoulders, come out the midline, DB lunges, grabs him, knocks him down, all right? He beats him so bad, kid has to bail himself out. All right, take up the slack. So now working the inside, you know, working the 1-step, take up the slack, getting inside. Good job right here with his head and eyes. Boom, boom. All right. Good job, good job. All right, up top, you know, anytime you're in the red zone, we got a little more time. We're inside of 10. Be patient. Get a quarterback time to put it on that back pylon. So this kid right here gonna take up the slack, but this time he's not really gonna take steps. He's gonna slide. He's gonna, you know, kind of slide what I talk about, and now he's gonna take that 1 step in. Boom. And that's just a great catch, you know. Love a one-hand catch when you see it, especially when it's needed. Guys just not doing it because. All right, same thing down here. Take up the slack. Get on his toes. Now he's working, you know, almost a 2-step release. Boom, boom. Getting vertical. You know, and you'll realize when you start doing this stuff, man, a lot of the times kids work better technique when they know they're not getting the ball. Because when they think they're getting the ball, they're going to rush. They're going to do a lot of things. So a lot of times on teach tapes, the best technique is when they know they're not getting the ball. All right, good job right here. Take up slack. Show it from this angle. Guy wants a soft shoe. He wants to back up. Chase him. Get hip to hip. Catch the ball. All right. So we talk about this one. Boom. I don't like that. The guy's not quick jamming us. Don't take a false step. He steps. Now he's backed up. Now he's wasted time. He's moving to move. So really the release doesn't start till here. All right. He wasted all this time. Now we're getting into the route. Take up the slack. Work a 1 step. Get inside. Now I just got to get the ball. See it from this angle. Boom. All right. Boom, 1 step. But you can't get you don't get that unless you take up the slack and get that guy in the fight or flight response first. All right, same thing right here. Guys a little closer. We're off the ball. Boom, 1 step. Now work the slant. So it's a lot of different, you know, ways to do it. And so now, okay, so now we talk about secondary releases. Anybody have any questions before I move on to secondary?
We're good right now, Coach.
All right, so secondary releases. We talk about the 1 step. So now, you know, all the secondary releases is taking up the slack and working your release up on a second-level defender. So usually when I say second-level defender, I mean somebody who's, you know, 5 to 10 yards off the ball. So, you know, when I speak to my kids, release point happens here, first level. Secondary release happens somewhere in this area. All right. So right here we got cover 2 corner at the bottom. All right, now he wants to get outside, but this guy has outside leverage, takes a 1 step in, freezes him, and now he can get back outside. All right. 1 step freezes him, now he can get back outside. And also, you know, a lot of times when you're working these must outside releases, you know, when you're working secondary release, you keep this guy's attention just long enough for he can't come off on number 2. Because right here, he's so tied up with us, he has no way to get off on number 2 working the out route. So, you know, you got to work the stuff. You'll see it from this angle. You know, not great footwork, but good reaction right here. Boom. And then getting up top. All right, second level release. You got a second level release. You got a safety rolling down. Now you got to work a release. Boom, hit him with the 1 step. So this is what I'm talking about, stretch and slip almost. He's rolling down 1 step. Now get into your break. All right. Same thing right here. All right. second level release, safety's rolling down. We got the fade. If he just cuts to the fade right now, this guy's gonna turn around with him. Now we gotta make a contested catch. You know, win at the break point, get separation, works a two-step, makes that guy touch his toes. All right. Now we got a chance to make a play. But again, he's got to freeze him to get wide open. All right. Same thing. So now in the slot right here, he's taking up the slack. Got that backer, that dime package, another DB. One step inside, boom, get vertical. Now work the out route. So y'all see, you know, really take up the slack, make your release on that guy. Now you can break out. So that's a good job winning to get off, to get vertical, and to get separation. You're going to be wide open every time you do it. All right, second level two-step. All right, great job by this kid. He's almost working a three-step. He's in, out, in. Now he's over the top. But the move, what it does is it freezes that guy long enough to where I'm taking up the slack. It freezes his feet. And now I can get up on him, and now he can't turn around with me. That's a good job. All right, good job right here. In the slot, second level. If I run to the fade now, he's going to run with me. Get up on him, freeze him, and then cut away. All right, same thing down here. Right here. Two-step, because he runs to the fade now. So this was kind of a crazy concept we had back then. We were testing it out. Kid could either run, you know, depending on leverage, could run a fade or a slant. And the quarterback had to kind of sit and read it. So right now he's been running slant, slant, slant. Guy sit on the slant, boom. All right, good job by that kid. All right, blade. So we talk about blade. You know, we've already talked about it with speed release. Now we're going to talk about it, you know, down the field, cover two. You know, so anytime we want to blade this guy, it's a rip. You know, before we, you know, go any further, people always ask what a blade is. It's a rip, but you're not really dipping with it. You just turn those shoulders, decrease the surface area. So, you know, to introduce it, we're just going to work all the different ways. Boom, turn your shoulders. So this guy's a cover two corner right here. I'm taking up the slack, sticking, and now I got to turn them shoulders, decrease the surface area so I can get around them. All right, so this is primarily when I use the blade is either on speed release or like cover two situations where now I'm trying to get back inside. So, again, we talk about stretch and slip, take up the slack, one-step blade. All right, you're creating something new with tools you already have. All right, so down here at the bottom, we got a cover two corner. All right, kid does a good job turning the shoulders right here. You'll see it. Corner tries to slow him up. Boom, miss. All right, so, you know, it doesn't look like much, but he makes the DB miss. And now he's in that hole shot a lot quicker than he would if he got held up. And now he's really straining his safety to get off the hash. You know, and that's why it works. You know, don't waste a lot of time. Work simple releases is going to get you open. Great job up top. Boom, try to shoot two hands, tries to slow him down. He blades, now he's right past him. Safety can't get off the hash in time. All right, you see it really good on this view right here. Boom, misses. You know, that's a cardinal sin for a corner not to slow that guy up at all, especially in cover two if you're going to let him outside. All right, same thing right here. Getting cover two, slips inside. And you can see right here, you don't see anything. Now you almost see his numbers, so you know he's turning to the side. Now he's got free run to make a play. You'll see it really good from this angle. All right.
Got a question here, Coach. Do you emphasize to the receivers needing more space to work a two-step release?
Say it one more time.
Do you emphasize to the receivers needing more space to work a two-step release?
No, I don't think you need more space to work a two-step release. I just like to always, when I'm teaching two-step release, start out with more space, because what happens is if you're working a two-step release and say the kid is right here, you put the bag right here. All the kids are going to do is 1-2 on the line and not getting any ground, and they're going to run two-step. And now you're teaching them bad habits. I want the first thing I teach them to be good habits. So I'm going to move the bag, you know, back so they feel comfortable. I'm going to move it back. They're here. Bag will be back here. So now they're really working 1-2, feeling what it feels like to gain ground and get vertical. Because there will be situations in the game where that guy's going to be breathing down your neck. You're going to work a two-step and you're not going to gain any ground. But I want, you know, your base to be gaining ground, trying to get at least come to even, you know. So even if that guy's breathing down my neck, I at least want to get to even before I work it. So that's how I teach it. But right here, again, you know, short from the other angle, kid's going to work a good blade. Right here, DB tries to squat on him, tries to contact him, collision. He's going to shoot both hands, boom. It doesn't take much, but a little blade right there makes a miss. And now once he's missed, he's done. We got a full head of steam going ahead. All right, so boom, right there. All right, so that's pretty much blade. You know, unless anybody wants to talk hand combat, you know, in depth, I'm gonna breeze through this. It's pretty self-explanatory. But I got pretty much, you know, a few things. I teach shed, hammer, swipe. So a shed, you know, I'm saying we're taking, that guy try to shoot his hand, we're just going to take our forearm and knock it off of us. You know, we're not going to waste a lot of time. We're going to get it off of us and keep running. You know, if you hammer down. You know, if we're in the route and now I got to get his hands off of me, I'm going to swipe. So usually a shed is kind of off the line of scrimmage, you know, versus press. You know, a hammer is while you're in it, you know, you're going to hammer that hand down. And then a swipe is kind of, you know, knocking that hand up. You're kind of in the middle of the route. So right here, this is shed. Boom. Exploding through it right now. Taking that forearm, taking that shoulder, really knocking that hand off. And like I said, he needs to get hip to hip. Don't go around me. Go through me. Take half a man. All right, so that's what we talk about when we talk shed. All right. SWAT rip. You know, just simple things, you know, things we've all done, SWAT cross. So this is the difference between, you know, SWAT, so, you know, SWAT swim, this guy's hands are way over here, over top. SWAT cross, right here you see he's going to bring that hand like through this guy's chin, keeping it low. And that keeps him from opening and exposing those ribs. All right. Right here, same thing. SWAT cross, low hand, he's not exposing his ribs. Boom, boom. Now he can get it. You'll see it pretty good from this angle. It's a great job. Boom. And so it happens really quick. He's not exposing anything. Keeps everything tight. Boom. Same thing there. You know, hands a little high, but he gets it down fast. Boom. Right here, he's a little high. We're working in the game. So right now we're talking pieces. He's taking up the slack. You know, a little bit of a false step, but taking up the slack to a one step. Now he's working a SWAT cross. Now he's vertical. Now this is a great job leaning. This is why I talk about opening your window back up. So, you know, anytime you're running a route, your window is a distance between this guy and the next inside defender that could make the play. So now he knows, you know, I need to get back out here because I want to be on the numbers when I make this break. Good job leaning, giving the guy a nod at the top and separating. You know, everything about this route is pretty good. I like to see his hand be a little lower on the SWAT cross. Boom. Good job leaning. Boom. Now you can make a play. All right. Same, you know, this is the same clip we just saw. And now, you know, just working that SWAT cross. All right, so that was pretty much the release portion of it, you know, how we do everything. Any question on releases before I kind of start going into techniques?
We're good right now, Coach. Yeah, if anybody, you know the deal. Y'all just drop it in the chat. But, yeah, we're good right now, Coach.
All right, sounds good. Hopefully I'm making sense. But, you know, we talk about get vertical push, just things you want to do, you know, eyes on the DB, head up, you know, driving through, you know, eye discipline, feet and arm action. You know, you just want to look like you're running full speed. Even guys who aren't fast can look fast with, you know, they're really using good body arm movement. Get vertical. So the first thing we talk about get vertical is the re-straighten. So when I say re-straighten, you know, a lot of times, you know, this kid right here is a post route in the slot. A lot of times these kids get up on the toes, and the first thing they do when they get to the DB is cross his face and run the post. All right, the post is 10 to 12 yards. I got a stick, work a release, get back vertical, and now keep timing with the quarterback. So boom, gets inside. Again, stretch, makes the one step a little far away from that kid. Does a great job getting back vertical and then running the route. So that's what we talk about when we say re-straighten. All right, so right here, situation where this kid right here has the post route, cover two, he's got to get inside and re-straighten. So now he keeps widening his safety. So now he can run the post. So we talk about pieces. All right, stretch, one step, slip, re-straighten. And now he's got enough space. Terrible throw. I don't know if he should have thrown it in that coverage, but, throws the ball and make a play. But, we're talking about the route. He's working a lot of techniques we've already discussed in one route. But because we keep it short, simple, and don't use a lot of verbiage, he's able to play fast. I don't want to teach a lot of techniques. Keep it simple. Relate to everything as much as possible so these kids understand. All right. Right here, re-straighten in the slot. Right here. So right now we're running a corner curl. Re-straightens, breaks to the corner. All right. And now back to the curl. So great job by him re-straightening, getting that DB's hips parallel to the line of scrimmage. Boom. And now he can come back.
Got a question here, Coach. So in regards to the speed of the release, and he gives an example. So on the slant route, do you give 100% route speed the whole route as far as effort goes? So after the break point, do you not run into the safety or overhang? So the example he gave was stem at 80% and then coming off the plant at 100%.
I would say if I'm understanding what you're saying, I would say yes. I would think when you're coming off the ball, we're running a slant and we're coming off the ball, I don't need to be 100%, because I want to be under control, but I need to look 100%. So that's what my body inflection, my body language, everything has to be sell and go, like I'm running go, but then I'm breaking it off. So guys don't need to run 100 miles an hour because they still have to break at the top, but they need to have good body language, good inflection, hands and knees still have to be pumping, emulating like they're going 100%, and then they can break. But like you said, as soon as you break, make that break point on the slant, especially if it's man, you got to be 100 miles an hour going inside because it's up to that quarterback to get it there on time. We can't slow down and let that corner get back involved after we beat them. Now we're running slant in this zone. Now you make that break. Now you can find the soft spot, settle down. But versus man, you need to be coming out 100 miles an hour. All right, so we talk about stacking. All right, good job by this kid again. We're talking second level release, one step. Needs to use, a swat cross, swat rip, a shed, something. He's not getting the inside hand involved, so he's letting that guy grab him. But a good job, first thing he does once he gets past the guy, stacks him. So right now, he's here, and this is what I would say is, about as hip to hip as you're going to get, on this play. So now hips parallel to the line of scrimmage. Now he's got to make a play. You know what I'm saying? Good job fading. Now you just want to keep man-me ball relationship. Let that ball fall over the outside shoulder instead of trying to catch it down the middle. So now it's man-me ball relationship. All right, hold the red line. Everybody's done these drills. Some people have the red line painted, some don't. You just really want to focus on those kids tracking that ball, catching it, man-me ball relationship. Just a quick drill. Have them lean. You can work it with back shoulder as well. That's a good warm-up drill. All right here at the top, on the outside, does a good job. Fighting that guy. Now he's holding the red line, fighting for the red line, hold him off. Now when he catches this ball, he's in perfect, man-me ball relationship. No way that guy can make a play on the ball. Now we got a chance to make a touchdown. All right. Up top. Great job by this kid coming off the ball. Gets around him, holds the red line. All right, down here at the bottom, again, holding red line, working the stack. Like to see him be more hip to hip. Does a good job though right here. Man-me ball relationship, plucks that ball out the air. Again, right here. Good job taking up the slack. Like to see him gain ground at the beginning. Just foot fire, not doing anything, but then he gains ground. Now he's holding that red line. Works a stack. Now I can make a play. All right. All right. Shed and hammer. So these little drills we work for hand combat again. Breeze through this. Low hip. So a lot of time we teach if he's on low, hand contact is low, below the waist. Want to work a hammer, get it off of you. Vice versa, on the shoulder, swipe it off. You know, so this could be a swipe or a shed, depending on the words you use. A lot of times I'm in between both. But this is just a little drill, you know, stationary, just teaching them. All right, so right here at the bottom, shoots. I like to see him use a swipe right here because he was aiming for the shoulder. So use a swipe or a shed, knock it up and go. Does a good job on the hammer, knocks it down, doesn't let him impede progress. Now he's in a good position to catch the whole shot. All right, right here, good job on the hammer. Again, working a secondary release. Boom, sticks him inside. Now you see that inside hand immediately knocks those hands off of him. Now he's able to make a play. All right, so this is a good shed right here. Kid on the outside. As soon as he puts them hands, boom, knock it off. As soon as he gets them hands, knock it off. Don't let him keep his hands on you. See from this angle. Kid on the outside right here. As soon as he gets that hand on you, knock it off. Boom. And you see it's real simple. It's like, you know, how I was taught, it's like Mr. Miyagi. Wax on, wax off. As soon as you put that hand, wax off. All right, it's a good hammer. This is almost, you know, sometimes these hammers even can turn into pull-throughs if you have a kid that can do it. So right now you see this kid, boom, knocks it down, then uses that to pull through past the guy on the fade route. See it better from this angle. He almost locks the hand right here and pulls himself through. All right. Same thing right here. All right, so down here at the bottom, knock that hand off immediately. Don't let him get his hands on you. Pretty crazy play. Guys knock heads. All right, so that's shade and hammer. Everybody kind of sees that. All right, next thing we'll talk about is just get separation. So now we've kind of been through, this is the third phase, last phase. How can we get separation at the top of these routes? Separation techniques. So the easiest thing I always teach, anytime you work in these releases, anytime you work in these techniques, easiest thing you teach your guys is a nod. You know, some people call it strike the helmet. Some people call it rocker step. You know, it's a lot of different names for it. I call it a nod just because, you know, when I was playing for Coach Sullivan in Jacksonville, that's what he called it. He coached for a lot of years. So right here, we're teaching, say we're running a post. I'm going to nod to the outside, boom, and now get under that guy. So what we'll do in the beginning is just run down the line, just have those guys running. So that's a one step. This is more like a rocker step, two step, boom, boom. So this would be like if I'm running a post to the left, in, out, then go back in. So it's a lot of different ways to work it. So how I started again, walk progression. We're just going to nod. The next thing you know, we're going to get that guy, work against the body. So now it's the top of the post route, working that nod, getting our head around, ready to look inside. Now we work it off a dive release. All right, so now we're diving in, trying to get that guy square. Boom. Now I'm going to nod him inside and go outside. So there's a lot of different ways to work it. Boom. Take that step, get back out. Again, now we're working it on flags. So now we're working two drills, working the dive release, now working the nod. So you can see it from the DB's perspective. Boom, good job striping the helmet. All right, so right here in the slot, see it's a good job by this kid. Boom, see it from the other angle. Right here, the safety's inside of him. He has the bender route, it's cover two. So get him to widen, fakes to the outside. Boom, now he's slipping inside. It's a great route. You know, we got that deep middle field safety right there, AKA coach, you know, preventing us from throwing that. Same situation right here. Now we're in the slot right here. Got the inside safety. We got to get inside of him. So now stick him outside, cross his face. All right, so those are little expensive ways. You know, the kids pick up on it quick. It's easy to do. You literally can do it every time. It'll always work because DBs, they can't help but take the cheese, man. They got to react. They're already vulnerable when you got a two-way go like that. They're always going to take it. So it's something really easy to teach the kids. All right, same thing here. Same route. boom, really stick him, really nod him, because right now he has to respect the outside move, because if we go outside, we run the seam past him, he's dead. So now he's turning, running for the seam. Now just get right back inside of him. All right. I think now we got the post. All right, so now he's on the post. He's trying to beat us to the post. He's got his, all his demeanor is inside. If we break straight to the post now, he's running with us. He's going to make contested catch. So now nod him. And so what I tell these kids, anytime we're in this situation right here, we're attacking this guy, a lot of people teach weave or they teach attack the blind spot. To me, that's a little vague. A lot of times you get people way out here and now they can't cross that guy's face because they're too wide. So I say near hip, chase the near hip. So now I'm pushing for that near hip. So if it's a piece of string going from my hip to his hip, I'm chasing that near hip, and now I want to step into the blind spot. So I don't want to necessarily run in the blind spot. I just want to take a nod into the blind spot, because now he's got to respect it, because if he doesn't, I'm going to take the same release and then go right outside him and I'm having him beat. So respect it, freeze his feet, boom. So chase the near hip, step in the blind spot, now cut away. All right. This one's down here at the bottom. It's a tight end, but a great job. Right now he's got the corner route. He's beat outside. So how's he going to get outside? He's got to work his nod. He's got to work his nod at the top, fake in. Now he can get him outside. All right, again, this could be either a one-step or a nod. Right now it could be a secondary release, one step, or it could be a nod, but he's nodding, getting across. Good job. One step. Now he's working a hammer, knock that hand down, catching the ball inside. All right. Now we're at the bottom right here. Gets inside. All right, so right now he's trying to go back outside the guys on his outside hip. But again, DBs are taught, chase the near hip on the inside release. Boom. So now I stripe the helmet, looking inside, nod inside, and you'll see his head actually turns inside looking for the ball. And now when we beat him, he has no choice but to grab us, get a PI. So those are just little, and that's the most inexpensive thing you could teach a kid. If I'm breaking out, just take a nod inside. It always works. Great job by this kid. Doesn't win the release. So this situation where, if I'm in here, did you win the get off? No, because you're hopping. You're not taking a step, you're hopping. You don't win the get off. You do win to get vertical. And right now he's covered. So the only way to get uncovered is to work a release at the top, work a technique. So you see the nod, boom, breaks the guy down, touchdown. All right, up at the top, it's going to be hard to see, but way up at the top, kid's working a dive release, and now he has that corner route. Guy's high above the cut, so we know he's coming out flat. Stick him inside, nod him inside, boom, and now catch the ball. If we were throwing it to him, he'd be wide open. All right, same thing right here. Now he's going to work a nod inside and work the seam. So boom, stick him, and now run the seam route. So there's a lot of different ways, and all this is I consider it a nod because he's at full speed. But, to some people, they might want to teach it as a one-step, secondary release. I don't really consider it secondary because, he's not really releasing. He's just nodding and keeping his speed. But it's a great job by him. Good job tracking the ball. You see it right here. Boom. He's ran so many posts on this kid. Kid is sitting on it. So now nod. It's just little simple things. It doesn't cost you anything. It's not hard to teach. All right, so right here at the bottom, again, just a little, either a one-step release inside or nod, back outside to the go. You see how it affects these kids, man. Good job getting off the top of his head. All right, right here, nod. Run a whole bunch of corners, nod them, get him turned around. It's really simple. Probably my favorite thing to teach, man, because kids pick it up really quick. Again, up at the top, run a post curl. So he nods him to the outside, breaks to the post, and then curls up on a kid, has no idea where he is. All right. All right. Same thing right here. Gets stuck at the beginning. Now he's dead in the water. Does a good job getting vertical. And then nods, gets separation. So that's the nod for the most part. If anybody's got any questions, we'll move on.
We're good, Coach.
All right, so we got throw by next. Now working the throw by. So I don't, throw by can be used on any route. It doesn't have to just be a curl route. It doesn't have to just be a comeback route. I say throw by slant. A lot of people might say diamond, squirt release, whatever the word is. But these are just drills. Again, I'm just stealing reps. Whether it's a warm up, whether it's you're gonna do it during your indie, I'm just stealing reps, catching balls, working the throw by, making it muscle memory, as many different ways as I can. All right, now you're working a release. This is a slant. Probably move that back a hair closer, but good job, because I want to make them feel getting ground. Working the release, then working the throw by. He doesn't do a good job punching the bag, though. So, all right, we're talking throw by, working the release. Doesn't win the release here. Guys on him. But now we know we're going. He doesn't. We can stop. He can't. Throw him by, find him, put him on his pockets. All right, up at the top. So we're running the post corner, He sticks. Now he's coming back out of it. Takes too many steps towards the post. But right here, he's in a situation where you would think he's stuck. No way he can get around this kid. Throws him by. Catch the ball. All right. You can use it in all different situations, not just a curl. It's not just a slant. And right here, boom. Throw him by. Get him on the ground. All right, so right here at the top, again, we're working that corner. So right now, dives inside, gets vertical. Kid's trying to wall him off, trying to wash him down, throw him by at the top, catch the ball. It's a good job. It's a good job.
Coach, on the throw by, where you having your guys aim their hands? Where's the aiming point for their hands?
All right, so it's the same as shed and hammer or swiping hammer, whatever you want to call it. If he goes high, I need to be high with him. If he goes low, I need to be low with him. So if he's gonna go high, if he's gonna try to go for the shoulder, I want to aim for either that elbow or that shoulder. And so if I aim for the elbow, I'm knocking the shoulder, I'm knocking the elbow past, trying to break it. Like a lot of people say, I want to break that elbow, get his hand off me, and throw him by, go back door. Right here, this kid, he grabs that back shoulder pad. So I'm either aiming for that elbow or that shoulder pad. But when I grab that shoulder pad, now I can grab it and truly throw him. A lot of times it won't get called because, I'm not throwing him hard, but I'm controlling him. I'm actually grabbing his jersey, grabbing his shoulder pad, and now I can throw him by, using the other hand to pin him. So right here you see him pinning him with the other hand, and now catch the ball. So those are the two places if he goes high. If he goes low, so he's got his hand on my hip, you just want to push back, his small of his back, to his hip area. So you want to go low when he's low, you want to go high when he's high. So right here at the bottom, feet win it. Not an aggressive throw by, but it's a good job. See it right here, he's low. So he pushes that low hip past. And you see it does just enough. The ref won't call it, but it's just enough to speed that DB up. Now we can get up underneath him. All right, I think this one's at the top. Boom. All right, so feet win it. He just pushes them by. I always teach the kids, hey, we know we're going. The DB doesn't. Be patient with your footwork. Now I can throw him by, catch the ball. And this guy doing it right here, I believe this is a walk-on, if I'm seeing the number correctly. And so it's really easy, man. If you teach it, keep it simple. Doesn't matter whether they're walk-on, whether they're star player. Doesn't matter whether they're first on the depth chart, last on the depth chart. The guys get it, they use it, and they gain confidence in it. All right, down here at the bottom, good job. Guy's long arm sticking right here. He's trying to stay on the high shoulder. So right now I'm aiming for that elbow. Boom. He knocks the elbow down. You see him trying to break it. Boom. And you see what it does to that DB. He can't control himself because he gets high. He's leaning on us. So when he loses the ability to lean on us, he loses his balance. All right. Same thing right here. Boom. You know where you're going. Be patient with your feet. This kid is 6'4", 6'5". He moves really well. Boom. Good job sticking. All right, up at the top. Speed release. Get him going. Now throw that low hip. He wants to go low. We go low. Throw him by, catch the ball. All right, so that's throw by, throw by, throw by. Same thing now. Most of the time we use it on curls, but you can't use it on slants. That's a curl. I think this is a curl as well. Again, a curl, throwing them by. And you see all these, you're covered until the end. You got to trust it. You got to trust you'll come uncovered, trust your footwork, trust technique. Don't be in a rush. Be patient. So right now, we talk about slants, throw by slant. He's really going to hit that guy. We're within that first 5 yards, so they're going to be physical, so we got to be just as physical. Catch that ball. Yeah, boom. You see it? So you'll see it right now. He shoots high. That hand is on that elbow, breaking that elbow. Breaking that elbow. And you see once he breaks, the DB loses all control. Now we just got to finish. All right, to the left, down here at the bottom. Get some wide. Boom, slaps him by, catch the slant. All right, so now we got nod, we got throw by, now we go lean and separate. So we talk lean and separate. We really want to lean on that guy. Same thing as the drills. Same thing as throw by, but now we're just leaning. Steal as many reps as you can. Guys got to be physical. So down here at the bottom, boom, one step, working the one step. Now we're leaning to get that window back. He's not going to go inside now. He's going to lean to get that window back. Now go up top. That's a good job. All right, same thing right here. Good job leaning, trying to buy back that grass that he's lost. Like see him get a little more vertical, but he's trying to lean. Now you can separate. All right, so down here at the bottom, right here, working a dig route. So right now you're working a dig route, you're running on this guy. All of a sudden you get inside. The first thing guys want to do is try to go inside. Now this guy's going to chase you. So what you do is you lean against him. Because I got to get to 15 yards, not at 15 yet. 15 is way here. To get to your 15 yards, lean and then separate. Really lean against that guy and then separate. You see what happens. He's so used to guys breaking inside when they get leverage. When you lean against him, it catches off guard. Now he's using you to hold himself up. So now when you separate, he has nothing to hold himself up with. All right, same thing right here. One step. Now he's leaning against that guy. Boom. Now he can separate. All right, you see it. Like to see him really lean. He's trying to lean, but the DB's not giving him anything to lean against. But he's trying to lean so he can separate. All right. Up at the top. Run the slant. So right here, boom, one step. Now working the shed, get that hand off. He's not breaking inside now. He's leaning back against that guy and then breaking it. It's a good route. I think this one is in the – where's this one at? So this one is in the slot. Trying to lean back against that guy once he beats him on the one step. So this is a good example of that stretch and slip out the slot. We talked about cover one, stretch him. He gives it to you. Now you're going inside right on your landmark where you lean against that guy if he's running with you. And now he does a good job leaning, opening his window back in, so now we can get a tight throw in. If he had broke in now, there's no way he catches this ball, but he gets just enough, leaning against that guy, buying land back, make the catch. All right, in the slot right here. Leans against that guy, not afraid of contact, runs right through that shoulder, and now breaks away. It's a good job by Edelman. Boom. All right, so now we talk, going into stair steps. So stair steps, we have over routes. Over routes, we get manned up. Now we got to stare that guy down. And the stair step can be either a one step or it can be multiple steps vertical. But we just know we got to reset that guy's hips because he's going to chase us, reset his hips, and then we can break away. So it's almost, like using the lean and separate just in a different situation. That's kind of the drills we use, just getting the guys to get used to it. Right here, this was the master of the stair step when we were at East Carolina because he ran so many overs. Right here, dives in, gets vertical, sees match, stares that guy down, holds him just long enough to separate. All right, same thing here. Holds him. So right now, guy tries to overplay the over, gets back vertical. Now this guy has no idea where he's running. He's lost leverage. He's thinking he's running a corner or something, out-breaking route. Tries to get back on top. Boom, now we backdoor him. Good job with his hands. All right, so now it's in the game, up here in the slot. Dials down, feels match. Dials down, gets vertical. Does just enough to stop that DB in his toes. Now he can get across. All right, this kid was really good. Right here, he's going to turn this guy around, get in cover one. Get man situation. Turns the DB all the way around. Wish he was getting the ball right here. All right, then we talk about set at the top. Okay, so set at the top is probably the hardest to teach out of all these techniques, but it's really good if you got a guy that knows it. So what are you doing? A lot of times set at the top, you see guys, you know, we're running a route, they get to the top, they break, then they break out, make this guy, you know, dive or whatever. Everybody think that's setting at the top. When I say set the top, really what I want is the guys in trail technique. So right here in the slot, boom. This wide receiver right here, this is DB. I have to get to the middle. It's cover two. I have the seam bender. I have to bend it across this guy, but he's hiding inside of me. There's no way for me to get around him. So how can I get open? Now I work a 1, 2, and then get inside, all right? So if I rewind it, boom, boom, works a 1, 2 at the top, and now he's able to get inside of that guy. So it's almost like a two-step situation, but now he's in trail technique. So boom, boom, make him stop his feet just long enough for me to get over the top. Now I can catch the ball. Set at the top, set at the top. All right. Again, in the slot. So this time, boom, gets vertical. Now he's trying to get inside. Watch how he breaks the DB down. He thinks it's an out-breaking route. Boom, 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 sticks to the outside. Now he can cross his face. Boom, 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 cross his face. So it's the hardest one to teach because it's a feel thing. You got to be able to feel when it's okay to use it. Right here, again, the slot. This time he's using it for the out-breaking route. Guy wasn't fast. This is Allen Hurns. Wasn't a super speed guy, but was very crafty, very good route runner. So now he's going to get vertical. He knows this guy, you know, beat him to the break point if he'll let him. So he's going to freeze his feet, then come out, and he's buying time for the outside guy to clear it out. Boom, boom, boom. Clears it out, comes off that hip, catch the ball. Savvy route runner, man. Savvy route runner. Boom. Freeze that guy, comes out. All right. I think this one's in the slot again. So now setting him at the top. Got a dig route. Guy sitting on him. Again, boom, boom, boom. Then break inside. Does just enough to freeze that guy's feet. All right. Now this is more of a slide step, but he's still working the same principle. Number 3 to the 3x1. All of a sudden, boom, slide step. Now I'm able to cut across his face. Boom. All right, so I'm setting him at the top. All right, I think this one was up here this time. Working that dive release. So the difference between a nod and a set, when you set a guy at the top, set at the top, I'm coming to balance, I'm losing speed, and now I'm really working that guy. As a nod, I'm trying to keep all my speed and be fast. This is more patient. So you see this guy at the top, sits him, now he gets a two-way go, nods inside, now he's able to get him. But you see he slows down, chops it down, breaks it down, whatever you want to say. Boom, 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 sets the guy up, and now it gets outside. So this is a real hard one to teach, especially in the capacity that you want to teach it, because it's a field thing. You know, either a guy kind of understands it or he doesn't. So right here in the slot, number 2, up top, boom, widens, slips, sets him up. Now I can get the ball for the dig route. All right, so this is kind of what everybody usually sees on set at the top. Guys coming in there, this kind of situation. You know, this is good. It's times for this. But in the trail situation is where it's really gold. All right, this kid was really good at it, though. Boom, boom, run the option route. Set him at the top. So you can work it either in trail or if the guy's in front of you. You know, people usually know how to use it if they're in front. Problem is when they're behind, it's kind of difficult to teach. There's a lot of different ways. Boom, 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 cross his face, right? Guys inside leverage, don't fear, trust your feet, trust your technique, set them up, now break inside them. All right, does anybody have any questions on set at the top? I know that was kind of confusing. It's kind of different.
No, sir. And, Coach, you got about 5 minutes.
All right. Well, that's pretty much, for the most part, that's it. The rest of this was going to be different routes, showing a different technique, different break points, different things. So, if people have questions, they can ask them. That's pretty much all I really wanted to show. The rest of it was just film.
For sure.
I just appreciate you, man. I appreciate you having me.
Absolutely.
Coach of Carolina, Coach Chadwell, just for allowing me to use the film. People at Louisville, everybody. I just appreciate, man. I appreciate working with Coach Brewer, Coach Gaither, Jerry Sullivan, all those guys, man. They taught me. Just appreciative to be here, man. Thank you for your time.
Absolutely, man. No, Coach, that was awesome, and I definitely appreciate you giving as much time as you did. There was a question, a little off topic from the release stuff, but just in regards to catches. Do you have an optimal number of catches that you want your kids to make during the season and during off season around this time of year?
No, I don't think it's an optimal number. I think it's different for everybody. Everybody's had that one kid that doesn't have to catch a ball from the time the last game is played till camp, and they're going to be fine. And you got a kid that can catch 100 balls every day. He's still going to be shaky at practice because it just is what it is, man. Ball is more about confidence and hand confidence and building that confidence, again, building that muscle memory. So if a guy can't catch, he's going to have to catch a lot because he's got to build that muscle memory, that hand-eye coordination. Vice versa, if a kid has it naturally, he doesn't need to catch as many balls. Maybe he needs to focus more on route running and certain techniques after practice than necessarily catching balls.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. Coach, do you mind sharing your contact information?
Oh, yeah, no doubt. So email is tonytwa2009@gmail.com. If anybody wants to read me, that's tonytwa2009@gmail.com. My old high school Gmail, if you can't tell. Twitter is Tony_TDUB. Tony_TDUB. Same thing on Instagram if you want to reach me there. And, we can talk about anything, man. You can reach out. We can talk it up. We can chalk it up. I've learned a lot of stuff from a lot of good receiving coaches, had a lot of guys with a lot of experience. Shoot, between two coaches that I worked with and played for, they have 80 years of experience between two coaches. So,
wow.
I was blessed, man, to learn a lot from some good people. And so now I'm just trying to share it.
No, absolutely, Coach. And, once again, man, thank you for jumping on. That was a ton of really great information. And like I said, the fact that you were willing to go as long as you did, man, was awesome. So, I know all the coaches appreciate it. I definitely do. It was definitely a great session to kick off week 6, man. So I want to thank you for that. And, of course, I want to thank all the coaches who took the time out this morning to jump on with us. So y'all are awesome, man. We appreciate all you guys are doing for the game of football and for our kids. And we're going to keep this thing rolling. So once again, Coach, thank you. Really appreciate it.
Oh, yeah, no doubt, man. Last dance, man. Last dance. If y'all can't see it. Me and teammates, man, had to get it in this morning, man. Had some extra motivation.
Hey, that's what's up. No, that's real. That's what's up. I need to watch that thing again today. For real.
Oh, yeah, no doubt, man. Well, I appreciate you having me on here. Look forward to hopefully getting down to see you.
Yeah.
Subsides and check out my area. But just appreciate you, man. Love everything you do.
Appreciate it.
Every episode on offense. And, anything I can do to help, man, just let me know.
Yeah, no, Coach, we'll definitely be in contact, man. Thanks again. And, coaches, I appreciate you again, man. We're back on in about 10 minutes.